Well, if you haven't noticed in the last couple of videos, I haven't had much of the front-facing camera, and it's because that camera died. Today on Thursday's Thoughts, I was going to talk about hip-hop music and how it's affected me in my life. How I got into it, and where I'm at with hip-hop today. The year was 1985, and I sat next to this kid named Brady Humble. And one day Brady told me, he says, "Hey, there's this tape that I got at Walmart, and it's got a really cool song on it." And he explained it to me, and it involved Superman and these high-pitched voices, chipmunk-like voices, and so I thought, okay, if Brady likes it, it sounds pretty cool, maybe I'll like it too. So the next trip that we took to the Walmart, and this is 1985, so it wasn't like there was a Walmart on every corner. We had to drive quite a ways to get to the local Walmart. Got to the Walmart, and I found that tape. And yes, it was a cassette tape because it was 1985. So it was 1985, and if you guys remember, old enough to remember, cassette tapes used to come in large packaging, I guess, for anti-theft, anti-shoplifting type dealy-mabobbers. And this was a compilation tape, so it had a bunch of different music on it. I believe it had Run DMC's It's Like That. I don't know. The only song I really remember from that is this particular song that Brady Humble introduced me to, and that was Nucleus's Jam On It. Jam on it. Jam on, jam on it. Jam on the ground and upside down. I keep you jamming to the Jam On production sound. Superman had come to town to see who he could rock. He blew away every crew he faced until he reached our block. And it's basically, that song is basically The Devil Went Down to Georgia. That's how that goes. Check it out. It's a neat little song. It's the only song that group ever really came out with. But it launched me and my brother's foray into hip-hop music. And for the next 7 years, we listened almost exclusively to hip-hop music. I think the next tape that we bought after that was Run DMC's Raising Hell and Beastie Boys' License to Ill. And we just collected tape after tape after tape after that, and man, we had memorized those tapes frontwards and backwards. I mean, we had a lot of, we had Canine Posse, which was Charlie Murphy and somebody else. We had De La Soul, Public Enemy, Cypress Hill, PM Dawn, Cool G Rap, DJ Polo, Eric B, Rakim, everything, man. We had a lot of stuff. We didn't have everything. We had a whole lot. So, my brother and I would spend whatever money we had on whatever tapes that we could get. We used to go to this place, Sound Warehouse, and buy tapes and get whatever they had on sale that week. At some point, I was given a Nirvana tape, and I really liked it, and I listened to it a lot, and I got into the grunge scene. I started listening to a lot more of the alternative rock. Still do a little bit, like it's still a Soundgarden and all that stuff is. And I got away from rap music. Some of it was because I enjoyed the rock music, but also because at that time it seemed like a lot of rap was not into white people. Like, not a lot of a lot of anger towards white people. And I never really got away from rap. I just didn't listen to it exclusively. So the 90s were a mix of a lot of things. You know, I would listen to Ice Cube and Space Hawk. I would buy Public Enemy and Soundgarden. Those were all options for me. So that's where Brady Humble took me when he introduced me to Jam On It in 1985. That took me a whole lot of rap music throughout the decades. For the last few years, I've kind of not listened to rap music because it just seems very It doesn't seem fresh. At least the rap music I've gotten. It's just, sure, the lyricists, the rappers are decent with what they do, but it just doesn't seem as creative as it used to be. But I've gotten back into hip hop, and it's gonna blow your mind, I'm sure. But I've been listening to Christian hip hop, and you're probably thinking, Christian hip hop? Why is that a thing? But I will tell you this: a lot of the Christian artists are really good. I'm not talking about Toby Mac. I don't think Toby Mac is that great as a hip hop artist, Christian artist. I mean, I guess his roots were in rap back when he was with DC Talk, and he still raps a little bit. And his son also does, some rapping. But I would call that kind of the Vanilla Ice of rap. But there's a lot of other rappers. Somebody told me about this years ago. His name is Lecrae, and I didn't look into it, and I didn't really think much about it. But since I've been listening to Christian music pretty exclusively for the last few years, and I've started tapping into the Christian hip hop aspect of it. And there's some pretty good rappers out there. Lecrae is pretty good. I've recently found an artist named Shobaraka, and his music, I don't want to say blows my mind, but it's not your typical Christian hip hop. It's more towards hip hop, but it's not quite secular, I guess. He has a lot of Christian themes in it, but he addresses it in a way that I think anybody who listens to regular secular hip hop music would appreciate it and maybe be, quote, tricked into it. But there's a lot of Christian artists out there that I think are pretty good. There's Tadashi, R. Swift, Trip Lee, Lecrae, Andy Mineo, Shobaraka. All these guys are pretty good rappers, in my opinion. And I would say that their music is on par with whatever is actually as good, if not better, than what's out there currently. So that's where I'm at with the hip hop music in 2017. I'm into Christian hip hop, and you should give it a try. Maybe I'll put a link down to some Shobaraka, some Tadashi. Tadashi actually, I think, is from Houston area, and he has a very Bun B sound to him. Trip Lee is from Dallas area. I'm not entirely sure what his sound. His sound is I don't think of anybody when I hear him rap. So maybe he doesn't emulate, but Tadashi definitely has a Bun B sound to him. Well, that's it for me, guys. Enjoy what it is you're doing. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, because I'm trying to make this thing work. And be good to each other. We'll see you next time while I go get these donuts.